All right, brother. We're live on Facebook. I'm here with Mikey B. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, Daryl?
Good, man. Hey, Mike and I got a chance to meet each other, I don't know, going on almost 3 years ago. And I remember seeing this guy, and I'm like, dude, that looks like he's 18. I was like, insane. You were there with Bobby. I don't even think you had facial hair yet. I don't think you're able to even grow it yet.
No, probably not. Not as thick as this.
No, man. How old are you now?
25.
25. Yeah. So Mike was 22 when we met, because I remember that. Because I'm thinking, who's this guy who's 22 years old, already made $1 million using Facebook? I was like, I want to know what this guy's doing. I was like, it's insane. I was like, I'd never made $1 million before, and let alone never know how to turn a profit on Facebook. So I thought it was really interesting to learn Mike's story. And I know you didn't go up and punch the teacher in the face, but verbally you definitely said something to him.
Yeah. I had a college teacher that didn't really like me disagreeing with some of the things he was saying, and yeah, he kicked me out of class a couple times. So
Yeah, I want to hear that story.
well, I don't know exactly what we disagreed with, but there were just times where we would disagree, and it was like a class where you're supposed to like talk and debate a little bit. It was like a business class, like I don't know exactly what kind, but he would just always disagree with me, and he pretty much just told me, oh, you're disagreeing with people too much, like you're never going to be successful in business, something like that. And just kind of told him, hey, listen, man, I'm already making money online, blah blah, like I am going to be successful in business, kind of like fuck you a little bit.
I think it was a big fu. I think it came down to, you asked him how much was the business that he ran before, because he always talked about some successful business.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I don't think he ever told me, like he said he ran some successful business, and then he was doing teaching, and I think he was saying he was doing like teaching for like 20 years, and he really never told me, and he was just he was making all these generalizations about everything, like, oh, if you do this you can't do this, if you do this you can't do this. So it was kind of like we just butted heads a lot, and he kind of just told me, you're never going to be successful in business if you're like this. So all good. I've heard that a lot.
Yeah. And then you turn on, and what did you do after that?
Well, actually, I dropped out, and then I really started to learn fan pages, and I did really well. I had my first $1 million year with fan pages, and really crushed it. Just was building huge fan pages on Facebook, like NM fans, I love dogs, I love moms, like just different stuff like that. And we were promoting CPA offers, and we were getting paid per each lead that we were driving them, and yeah, really crushed it for a while until Facebook changed their algorithm.
Yeah. And that's one of the things you got to do in business changes. You got to pivot and move with it.
Correct.
One of the things is, I know I learned a lot from Mike about how to grow like fan pages and stuff like that, and how he was monetizing it. But Mike, bring us up to speed a little bit now. I know it wasn't all easy. I mean, you started out, you had basically nothing when you got started doing what you're doing. And how old were you when you just made that decision of like, hey, I'm just gonna leave the traditional college route, because I'm not gonna I'm not gonna buy into, hey, let me go get an education so that I can go get a good job. You already kind of had that entrepreneur spirit. When did you first knew you had the entrepreneur spirit about you?
Oh, well, I first started selling like baseball cards when I was like 12, 13 years old. And I still collect cards. I don't know if you can see, like, so I actually have this. So like this is all like
old, that's cool
stuff. I just got my office like kind of repainted, so I haven't put it up yet.
Uh-huh.
Like I got Conor McGregor. Like
those are old school. Like give everybody, because I'm a baseball card junkie too.
So
give us an idea, like how much like that is worth holding, because I know a lot of people wouldn't have a clue.
Few $1,000s. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a 57 Mantle, 57 Mays, 57 Yogi Berra, probably a 60s Koufax, 60s Hank Aaron.
You're a big Yankee buff.
Yeah, I am. You got Maris. I mean, Terry Bradshaw, Johnny Unitas, and then you got some of the older boxers. I mean, you got James Corbett right here, first heavyweight champion of the world. So I mean, yeah, they're solid cards in here. But anyways, so I I started collecting, and that would sell the other ones. And I was always intrigued with, hey, what were the cards worth, and what could I get with them? And then from there, I started selling shoes in my school. What else did I sell? Like Ed Hardy clothes, like just different stuff like that. And I was always just looking to sell something to make money. So then 18 years old came. I went to Virginia Wesleyan to go play baseball, and I played in the fall semester. But I just didn't like the college, man. Like not the college. I don't like school. Like I don't like learning about things that I can't put into action like right now that are going to make a difference in my life. Learn about language arts and all this different stuff. And what was funny is I hired somebody to do all my language arts papers, well, English papers.
You outsourced it in college.
Yeah, I outsourced it. I outsourced my college papers in college.
Is that legal? Can you do that?
Probably not.
Probably not.
No, probably not. So from there, I kind of told my parents, I'm like, listen, I stopped going to class. I'm coming home. So they weren't happy about it, but eventually I convinced them. I came home, and the first 6 months, like I really didn't do that well, just trying different things. Like I had one website that was making me some sales, but I don't know, $100 a week, $400. I was doing little Warrior Forum offers. I don't know if you remember the Warrior Forum.
Yeah.
But doing little services for people. I actually had a conversion optimization service where I would test websites for people. I did that for a little bit. And then really I hit it big with the fan pages. Like I actually went to Russell Brunson. This is funny. So how I started talking with Russell is I wanted to buy one of his websites. I think it was called like The Secret or something or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the deal ended up not going through, but he's like, hey, come to an event of mine. So I go to the event, and this kid, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure, yeah. This kid, Anthony Mink, was speaking there, and he talked about how he was just killing it with fan pages. Like, he had these big Steelers fan pages with like 500,000 fans, and he's making all this money. So I rushed out and went to try it, and I'm getting like penny likes. And the thing is, back then, like back when I was 18, 19 years old, when you posted on your fan page, every single one of your fans would see it. Yeah. So like if you have 500,000 fans, you literally have 500,000 fans on demand. So like you could post something, you're gonna get tons of clicks. I was getting, so like in my heyday, I was getting 5,000, 7,000 clicks a day to my CPA offers. And when you're making $1 a click, $1.50 a click, it's good money. So yeah, I really just hit it big with fan pages. Like right opportunity, right time. But yeah, that really helped me. So like the fan pages, and then I did more like Facebook ads. And what that did is it built up a big budget for me to go into actually teaching it and how to teach fan pages and stuff like that. So yeah.
So Mike, a lot of people out there, they play on Facebook and they use it all day long for all kind of different reasons, but they never thought about how to earn a living off of using Facebook. And I know, that's obviously like a foreign concept to them. They're like, oh my gosh. So if somebody's listening to this and they're trying to figure out, well, what is this guy even talking about? I don't understand. How is he able to make money utilizing fan pages and Facebook? What were some of the things you were doing? Number one, to generate your audience. And number two, what are some of the things you did to then monetize that audience once you had it?
So I was running like ad campaigns. So not too many people run them anymore. It's because you don't see all the posts when a fan page makes them, but you would see like either in your newsfeed or on your right column, it'd be like, hey, do you like whatever, like your page? Hey, do you like Marines? Then like this now. They click like and they liked your page. So essentially back then is when you posted, everybody who liked your page would see it in their newsfeed. So how I was monetizing it is I was using CPA offers, so that's cost per acquisition offers, and they would pay me for each lead that they submitted. So I had a scholarship offer that really killed it for me. It was called Scholarship Zone, and they would give away scholarships, and they gave away like a $10,000 scholarship. They paid me up to $6 for every single lead that I put through there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really killed it with it. Had like a yes landing page where you have the traffic answer yes to a bunch of questions to get them in the yes state, and then go fill out the offer. But yeah, I mean, companies, there's companies out there that will pay you for leads, because leads are valuable, especially if you got a good sales funnel on the back end, if you got some salespeople or whatever. And a lot of these companies know their lifetime value. So paying $6 for a lead, when you're selling college on the back end that the government is financing, you have, it might be a $40,000 a year ticket. So that's worth $240,000 to them. So they're going to pay $6 for that lead all day.
Yeah. So let's break that down Barney style for us Marines out there. So you developed a fan page. You got a lot of people like something, and around some kind of audience. Like you said, you did around sports teams, or you did around certain niches like I Love Moms, or we got Trey out there, he's talking about I Love Guns and different niches. And then you would offer things on the page that people in that niche already like.
Correct. Right? Or I would do like a universal offer. So like a universal offer is something everybody wants. So like everybody kind of wants to lose weight. Everybody wants to make more money. Everybody wants to have more sex, like something like that. Like that's why I call a universal offer, something that your whole audience is gonna want. So it wouldn't matter, if I had a I Love Moms page or an M&M fans page. Like a lot of the demographic, especially back then, a lot of the demographic was younger people that were in college, and they're the ones that are online. So when you're posting a scholarship offer, everybody's in college, or they're about to go to college. You're gonna get, just a ton of clicks, ton of sorry about that.
You're partying again, aren't you?
What?
Partying again, huh?
Nah.
It's your 5-hour energy.
Yeah. So your audience is gonna click on it, and you're gonna convert. So like that's really what I look to do. I just used, like, I would build pages in like whatever niche I felt like was passionate. I had LeBron James fans, Dwayne Wade fans, Miami Heat fans, Bulls fans. Just like we were at a point where we're starting like 5 new fan pages a day and just rocking it out.
Yeah.
I had that. It actually got so taxing that I had to hire people to post on the pages for me, because we had so many pages and so many posts to make that it was nuts. Like,
so you would go and you bring offers out to these fan pages. Like, now, are you still doing that now?
I mainly promote my own offer. So I have this offer called Partner with Mike B. And what it does is it's a $7 front end offer. And then for that $7, you get 6 steps. And those 6 steps tell you how to, first off, license a business, get funding for your business, start an online business, why you want to have high ticket products, blah, blah. And then what we do is we actually pitch them a license to our business for $6,000. And then they're able to license our sales pages. They use our sales team, all stuff like that. Also, if anybody's watching, I'm looking for a good salesperson. I got interviews all lined up. I'm doing a bunch of interviews, but always looking for that diamond in the rough. But
so let's talk about that for a minute, Mike. So what I think it's important people to know, how much money have you actually invested into that process to get that? You said 6 steps or 7 steps?
So like the whole Partner with Mike B project.
I mean, like how much money have you spent on Facebook ads yourself? Just
over $1 million.
Yeah, over $1 million.
Yeah.
25 years old, you spent over $1 million advertising on Facebook. How much have you actually spent in running your business? I mean, as a professional, whether it's lawyers, whether it's hiring employees, whether it's firing employees, whether it's dealing with any of that kind of stuff.
Probably like 1.5, maybe 1.7 million, something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of money. But a lot of money. Most of it goes to ads. But like when I was setting up Partner with Mike B, I had my I had a tech guy setting everything up. I had Bobby. Bobby's my videographer, so he had Bobby Bands. So he shot some professional videos for me. That I had to set everything up in Infusionsoft, set up the coaches. I had to hire the salespeople. I had to, put together all the campaigns and everything. So it's a time-intensive process. But like how it works out now is you're able to get people to duplicate your business very, very easily. And all they got to do is advertise, and they're going to make sales, and they're going to make high-ticket sales. And like literally, it's the easiest way I've found to get a newbie making money. Like somebody fresh off the street, no idea what internet marketing is. It's like, hey, go buy some ads. Here's what ads you got to buy. They're gonna, opt in. An opt-in is a lead, and they're gonna make purchases. You're gonna make some money. Obviously you gotta track your numbers and you have to test some things, but literally like that's all you gotta do. It's not like you don't have to set anything up. Like you just have to advertise. That's it.
Yeah. So mastering the advertising side of it, and then you're giving them your sales team that you've developed, and you're giving them all the tools, the email copy, it's like a business in a box, basically, is what you're offering people right now.
Correct.
That's pretty amazing. And then my point is like the $1.5 to $2 million worth of knowledge that you've had to physically fork out and invest is you're offering that for a measly $6,000 basically to get access to that.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. And I think that's a lot of times where people just kind of gloss over that. They think, oh, that's a big number. What's a big number relative to what? And like, what's the return? So let's say somebody does take you up on this offer and they have one sale come in from doing it. What?
So we pay 70% on the front end. So like we have a $7 front end offer, and then we have a couple upsells from there. So we have $89.95, $199.95. and then $99.95. So they get 70% throughout that funnel, and then they get 50% on any high ticket. So if we close somebody for $6,000, that's a $3,000 commission they're going to get. So they only have to make around, not counting the front end. If they make 2 back end sales, they've already had their investment back, and they literally have a whole business in a box, and they can go from there. Like like you're saying, a lot of people miss that. Like, oh well, like I have. This one woman was like, oh, well, $5,000, is a lot of money. I'm like, to what? Like, like I've spent millions of dollars on my education and putting this all together. If you wanted to put something like this together, it would literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Like, literally. So like, $5,000, $6,000 is, because we actually let her in for $1,000 less. We give her a little discount because, and it's not, $5,000 is a lot, blah, blah, but what is it a lot to? Like you're getting, like when you go out and you buy a McDonald's franchise, like
2.5 million, right?
What is it? 2.5 now?
I think so. Yeah.
So like if you put that in perspective, like obviously it's a physical location and everything, but that's 2.5 million to get like a whole business in a box. Or you get my business in a box, which is $6,000.
That's not 6 million yet.
No, not yet. And you don't have to really have any overhead. Like all you got to do is advertise. Like you don't have to worry about employees. You don't have to worry about rent. You don't have to worry about natural disasters or whatever. Like literally, you just advertise. So like, yeah, man, it's a great offer. And the people who get it, get it. They're like, wow, this is fucking great. And the people that don't get it, they're like, oh, well, I ran one ad and, I didn't make $100,000. Like, why not? Well, you got to run more ads. You got to test,
Yeah. You got to be patient too, when it comes to running ads, because you got to find the right one that goes. I've seen, I remember one of the things it taught me was like, hey, take 40 ads and throw them in there and see what's going to stick. And then within 48 hours, I'm like, yeah, I dump all the ones that didn't work and keep running with the winners.
Yeah, that's it, man. But if you only tested one ad and it bombed, and if you had a quitter's mindset, you'd be like, oh, this doesn't work, I'm a liar. But no, like you have to test. Like this is advertising, this is marketing, and this is business. Like you have to test things. I have probably 8 out of 10 things fail on me, like new ad campaigns, for Facebook at least, not solo ads. But like, you're gonna have a lot of things that are gonna fail, and you're gonna have to tweak, you're gonna have to optimize. But the things that do work, they're gonna make up for your failures.
What's your thoughts on some of the? There's a lot of software that's coming out there around Facebook stuff with like responding back to people's messages and there's all kind of different stuff. I know there's a lot of policies and procedures with Facebook. I mean, they're really fast at shutting people down for different stuff. What are some of the things you've seen that worked and didn't work?
I think it's pretty good. Like the messengers, like so for me, I like to have one-to-one conversations with a lot of these people. Like I have my sales team. The way you close high ticket deals, you gotta have one-to-ones. Like you can't, like obviously you could do webinars and everything, but that only goes up to a certain price point. Like you do $2,000, $2,500. But if you really want to close somebody at $6,000, having one-to-ones is great. So if you could get somebody that you could talk to on Facebook through Messenger, it's great. You're going to close that person because you're going to be able to meet all of their objections head on. Oh, well, why, what if this doesn't work? Well, just random questions. You're going to be able to answer all of them. With a sales letter, you might not answer all those objections. They might not believe you, but you're one-to-one, the average conversion rate on a sales letter is around 2%. If you're one-to-one on Messenger, if you're pretty good, you should be able to close at like 8 to 10%. If you're talking to a live human being and you're whatever you're selling, you should be able to close pretty high. So like I love it. I think it's great. I haven't tested out any of the tools. What I did use is just the regular Messenger ads. I didn't get any success. Like to be honest with you, I only tested like 1 or 2 ads. And I got a few replies, but like nothing converted. But I just didn't run enough money to it, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think it's great, like to have those one-to-one conversations, like especially like if you wanted to move them to the phone. So like we run an ad campaign that so they opt in, they get to see how we built our business, and then they we go over everything, how we hired people, how we built the sales funnel. It's supposed to take a cold prospect through everything and then say, hey, listen, do you want to license this whole thing? Fill out this application. And applications cost anywhere from $50 to $100. So if you could go straight from a message and then kind of vet them out and see what they want to do, and then actually get them on the phone, you could cut that cost down significantly.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the things you're sharing out there is for listeners out there is Mike has his program and people fill out an application and then talk to him because he wants to make sure he qualifies the people he's talking to on the phone. He doesn't want to be on the phone talking to jokers all day. There's plenty of jokers out there who just waste your time, and as a business owner, you don't want to waste your time. So Mike, what are some of the best technique you've actually seen, over the years utilizing Facebook to grow your business?
Other than fan pages, really you can reach such a different demographic, and you can really scale. So I run a lot of solo ads as well.
Tell the listeners what a solo ad is if they haven't heard of something like that.
Solo ad is an ad in someone's email list. So I'm sure you have an email list. I would go, hey Daryl, you know what? I want to run an ad in your email list. And usually, for solo ads in like my industry, it's a fixed cost per click. So around anywhere from 30 cents to 40 cents. Actually, anywhere from 30 cents all the way up to $1 per click. But usually I stay around the 30 cent to 40 cent range just because I find they're really
Explain what that is real quick, Mike, so somebody doesn't know what a cost per click is if they're clicking on an email.
So each click on your link costs, X amount of dollars, 30 cents, 40 cents. So like if you get a click, it costs you 30 cents. So like you would pay up front, it would be, let's say you got 1,000 clicks, 30 cents a click, you pay them $300, and they're going to send 1,000 clicks to your website from their email newsletter. So, but getting back to Facebook, I mean, the retargeting is huge. Like even if you were just starting, like one of the biggest things you could do is just retarget people. Just retarget people all around Facebook. You're gonna see your best ROI there, and then you can kind of open it up to more interest. one of the biggest things, and I never quite got it to work, but a lot of people have crushed it this way, is automated webinars to an application for a high ticket program. So, when you could put somebody through an automated webinar and really pre-sell them well and get them to fill out an application, you're the odds of you actually closing them is going to be a lot higher. Mm-hmm. So, I've seen, I don't know if you know who Russ Rufino is. Yep. He's doing like $500,000 a month off that model. So, it's a good model. You just got to have a really solid webinar and some solid salespeople on the back.
Mm-hmm. And Mike, I know that everything hasn't been peaches and gravy for you. Let's say, like, if you were at the low point as far as the entrepreneur side of things, there's always the up and down with business happening and stuff like that. What's one of the point where you like hit the low point? You're like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get up from this one.
Probably like, so I was running the CPA offers, and then I also had my sales funnel. And the problem is, like, first off, I really didn't know what like chargebacks were. And I didn't know chargebacks, like if you got too many of them, they could shut down your merchant account. So like I'm in the business opportunity space, like that's what they call it, is up. And they, like, you get a lot of fraud in biz up, like, or you get people that like to do friendly fraud. Like they'll buy something and they'll dispute it with their card. It's blatant fraud. But anyways, so it was my fault though. I ran too many trials in my sales funnel. So it was like you buy a $7 front end and then you could get a $1 trial and then it's $297 a month. And then I ran like another $1 trial and then $197 a month. And I was making money hand over fist, just, crazy money, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a day was coming through. I'm getting all these chargebacks. And, I'm fighting them and everything, but eventually, I got my merchant account shut down, and since I set everything up wrong, like any other merchant account that I would open to try to, so I had $400,000 a month in recurring income, mm-hmm. And like I had to let it all go because anywhere I went to process that, there's going to be too many chargebacks, and I'm just going to get those merchant accounts shut down. So like that. Like the biggest thing, like in this entrepreneurship, and especially in my niche, and I've like finally like learned how to deal with it, and like there's different ways you can deal with it. Number one thing, like if you're in the biz op industry, is don't run recurring on your front end. Like just don't do it, because a lot of your demographics older, like they're like 60, 70. You're gonna see like 40% of your demographic, like 60 up. So if they buy something recurring, they might not remember it. Like,
no.
Yeah.
I forget. I'm not even close to that age.
Yeah, exactly. And I forget things too. Like I'll look at I'm like, what is this? Like why am I keep getting charged? So like I understand, but like you can't run recurring offers in your biz op front end sales funnel. It just doesn't work, man. Like I've tried it so many different ways. Like I tried doing thank you calls. I tried doing direct mail. Like you just can't you got to do a straight sale all the way through. And then on the back end, your best customers can buy like a recurring or something. But like I'd have a lot more money if like I knew what I knew. If I knew
$4.8 million a year worth of it.
Oh yeah, a lot more money, man.
That's a pretty big lesson to learn.
Yeah, it's but it's all growing pains. You learn as you go, and
You're 25. You'll bounce back without a problem.
Yeah, exactly. I always try to put that a little bit in perspective. Like, I'm getting older, but I'm
getting older.
Yeah, like I'm getting older. Like I haven't like done exactly what I want to do, but like I'm still kind of young.
Still kind of young.
Yeah.
Mike, man, I appreciate you sharing that with us. What's some of the books or some of the recommendations you would say who's somebody's looking to get started becoming an entrepreneur, or somebody who wants to just get inspired by some of the stuff. I know you inspire me for the way you just go out and kick ass, and I sat there always making stuff happen, and I know you're always about GSD, getting shit done. So what's some of the things that somebody could learn?
One of the books that really, I think that gets it across for a lot of people is the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. Because it just breaks down the concepts between employee, business owner, investor, and the way your money moves around, the way you get taxed, and how you're at such a disadvantage as an employee, and how you need to invest your money, and like that book right there. And it's like an easy read. It's not tough. And then actually this book too. So I really like this.
Robert Kiyosaki is our Marine. Hoorah. Oh, Ultimate Sales Machine. That's another good one.
Yeah, so that's really good. But getting back, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, man, it just breaks down these high level concepts into just stuff you can learn. Hey, this is
when did you read that book, Mike?
When I don't know, 17, 18 years old.
You were pretty much ruined after that, weren't you?
Yeah, he explains things on real estate you can get infinite returns, because of the taxes, the depreciation, the cash flow is going to make up for anything, and then if you actually go end up to sell it, you're going to have an infinite return, and just stuff like that, and how schooling makes you want to be schooling is designed to set you up to be an employee. They tell you when to go to the bathroom, they tell you what to do, they tell you to do this. So you're set up to be an employee. And that book, it breaks everything down. If you're brand new, that will wow, there's a whole different world out there. You'll see
that book changed my life. For me, I was sharing the story about how I listened to the cassette tape of that. Back in the day, they had cassette tapes. You probably don't know what that is, but where there was half of one in the car. We only had one cassette. There was two. It was on two cassettes, so I had to go find the library, and I didn't know where the library was at that point. Literally Barnes and Noble, right? And I walked in there. I was like, wow, there's books in here. Who would have thought? So I got the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, and I read that. And after doing that, it just totally just blew my mind, and got me started on the entrepreneurs thinking side of things.
And that's the difference. It's just a different mindset to completely change your life. So many people want to go if you actually thought about some of the things if you went out and just bought one investment property that was a good buy, and that you could build equity in, you could be pretty set for your life. Not totally, but let's just say you bought a $200,000 house when you were younger as an investment property that cash flowed for $300 a month. Cash flow is cool, but the equity that you would build in it is huge. So let's just say it went up to $300,000 over 15 years, whatever, 20 years. You would have a $300,000 asset if you built up all the equity in it or whatever.
Yeah, and you raise rent every year and get tax write-offs.
Yeah, exactly. And if you got an FHA loan, you can put 3.5% down, and you can literally just off that one tip, you can literally change your life right there. Because if you're cash flowing, you're not paying any money out of pocket. You're making money. The depreciation is helping you out, and you're gonna have an asset down the line. Even if you don't sell it, you just let it sit there, and you're just bringing in the money. You're building an asset. So at the end of it, you're gonna have $300,000 to take out. You didn't have to do anything. Obviously you had to find the property and you had to do it, but $300,000, and that's how the rich get rich. That's how the rich get richer, and because it's just it's a mindset shift. Instead of taking that whatever, and I've made my mistakes too. I went out and bought the Viper and bought my ex-girlfriend, nice little ring, and just spent my money like an idiot. Because I'm 21, 22 years old and making all this money. I spent my money like an idiot. Just went out and bought all this shit that I should have. But one of the things that did hurt me is I didn't have the tax returns to actually get real estate. And they wanted it. It was
We were like 19 at the time, so.
yeah, correct. So like I didn't have any tax returns. So like I did want to get real estate, but then they were like, you got to put a ton of money down, blah blah. And I was like, I'd rather go get the Viper.
I'd rather have a Viper.
Yeah. So just like certain mindset shifts, like and like another thing too is like you don't, as a business owner, you get taxed at the end of the year. Like as an employee, you get taxed throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
So like you're able to use your money how you want it. One second. Let me.
No problem. So then at the end of the year, guys, what Mike's talking about is if you read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, basically as a business owner, you write all your expenses off, whether it's you're got business expenses, you got to go travel somewhere, right? Mike goes to an event to travel with his friends to go to the Super Bowl, right? And meets other marketing people that he talks to there. Now that whole trip is a business write-off.
Yeah.
The $15,000 tickets that you paid for, right?
Yeah.
So Mike and I meet at the event in San Diego. I travel to San Diego, spend some time hanging out on the beach. We have some drinks, have a good time, and then that becomes a business write-off for food, entertainment, travel, etc. So most of the trips that I do, and I'm sure that Mike does as well, going places, going things, is that's paid for first before I go pay like after tax dollars on it. And obviously we're neither as consultants for taxes or any of that kind of stuff, but these are the basics behind how Robert Kiyosaki talks about it in the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And it was just some simple concepts like that I took away. Well, like, wow. I was like, you mean I pay tax on what's left over after I'm done all my business expenses? And I was like, oh my gosh, I just gave myself like so that meant before, if I'm making $1, I'm really only making 70 cents. Now, the way that it works in Robert's book, essentially, in a way, if I make $1, I'm actually making like $1.30 at that point, because at 30 cents I'm getting, I didn't get otherwise.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a huge adjustment. I was on the phone yesterday talking with somebody, and they were just angry about paying taxes and how much they pay and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, why do you have a job then? In that sense of like, create a business, create an opportunity. Because when you're creating a business, you're creating an opportunity, you're creating real estate. You're taking care of stuff. You're adding value to the United States government. Because Mike, how many employees do you have? How many salespeople you're working with? I mean, he's employing these people now at this point. So he's helped creating more W-2 income for the United States government. And that's, as a business owner, you are in partnership with the government. The same thing with real estate. I mean, when you get a piece of real estate, you're taking care of that real estate. You're making sure it looks nice and everything else. So the upkeep of that, and you've improved it from being just a raw piece of land to now it's a valuable house and people live there, and over time values go up and go down, as we all know. And as a result of that, then you get a tax break because of that, and you very should be getting that. So I really appreciate Mike coming out. Is there any last golden nuggets you'd share with somebody who wants to go out and learn more about what you're doing, or learn more about how they can get in touch with you?
You could either check out my course, partnerwithmikeb.com, or you could check out my blog, digitalmarketersvault.com. And like one of the biggest nuggets I've learned is the belief in yourself is key. Like like the difference between some people that are making $1 million and $10 million, like some of these people at $10 million believe like they're worth $10 million, and like they believe that they could get there. And it's just like when you're at $1 million, like spend more money and to really expand, like it's a belief thing. When you're at zero and you don't have money, or you're working a job, it's a belief that you can actually do what you're saying, like create a business and do what you want. Like if you don't believe, you're never going to go after it. Like Eric Thomas talks about this a lot. Like most people, they don't actually believe that they could go out there and do it. Like they don't believe that they could go out there and start that business and whatever. Like myself, like I so wholeheartedly believe that I'm going to do what I want. Like I'm going to, run a $10 million business and, be extremely successful. And like before I even made money, like I just knew it. Like I would tell my friends, no, I'm going to make $1 million before, I'm 25. like, oh yeah, cool. Like, no, like I am. Like, and you have to believe so much in yourself. Just things that come up, like the $400,000 that I lost. Like, most people, that just crumbles you. Like, you wouldn't be able to get up. Like, but the belief that to just come back. Like, even if I lost everything, like just lost all my money, had to go bankrupt, I'd come back just because I know I could believe in myself. I'd go get a freelancing job and I'd start talking with people. I'd put together an offer, get some JVs. Like the belief in yourself is key. If you don't believe that you can actually do this, you're gonna get swallowed up. Like, you can't do it half-heartedly. Like, it's just not gonna work. And the people that fail, like they don't believe. Like, and you deal with that a lot in biz op. Like, the people that succeed, they believe so much. Like, they're going out, they're buying ads, they're doing whatever it takes. And the people that don't believe, like doesn't work. Or like, oh, Mike, you didn't teach me enough. No, like, you have everything you need. You're just not implementing. You don't believe that you could get it done. So
Mike, how did you get that belief level so high in yourself? What did you do to get there? For people that are out there, they're struggling. I see this all the time with entrepreneurs. I work with whether they're big or small, and it is that belief. It's that projection of what they're projecting forward. But how have you gotten it? So you're like Rocky Balboa in there. You're just coming back, right? The Apollo Creed, no problem. The Russian, here he comes, right?
I think you need small wins. So, like, I'm selling autographs. Those are small wins, making a couple bucks. And then I was selling shoes, making a couple bucks here and there. And then, I hit it big with fan pages, but like, I had a bunch of failures along the way. Like, so it was like autographs, got a bunch of eBay accounts shut down, blah, blah. Then shoes, then, going to college, not working out of college. What else? And then, fan pages, you get fan pages shut down. But like, those little wins, like, build up your confidence. Like, you got to have little wins. Like, if you go out and you make a sale today, wow, you did this. Like, that's it. Like you could even do like arbitrage. Like, you could go to, and Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this a lot, go to a garage sale, look up some of the stuff they got. Of course, they're selling it for less than it's worth. Whatever, like baseball cards, autographs, whatever. I found a ton of, like, I bought a Wayne Gretzky signed puck, Steiner edition. Like, Steiner's like a big certificate of authenticity company, so like it's worth a lot more with Steiner. Paid $1 for it. Like, wow. And that's like a $300 puck. That's that's a 300% return on investment. And all you got to do is literally just go to like these garage sales, and like, you can find, like, for me, because I'm a collector, like you can find baseball cards, like old baseball cards. Like, some grandma is selling her kids baseball cards, her baseball cards or whatever. She doesn't know what they're worth. She's selling them for a couple bucks. And if you got 1950s baseball cards there, it's worth money. People sell stamps, and they sell jewelry or whatever. Like, and if you could literally go there, you buy it, you can sell it on Craigslist or eBay, you get a small little win, you get a good amount of capital, and now you can take that and buy more stuff. And it just starts the ball rolling. Like, literally anybody can do it. Like, you could take $20, go buy an item, flip that, get $40, then buy some more, and then you can literally go to some people, hey, listen, man, I'm doubling my money. Can you give me $200? I'm buying. Like, you could come to the garage sale with me. I'm gonna flip this stuff. And like, most people are gonna do it. Like, they'll be like, if you got a good support system, okay, like, yeah, I'll come with you to the garage sale. You flip it, blah blah, cool. And then, hey, listen, you build that up, and like, next thing you know, you got a huge budget. You got a nice little
Viper. You got a Viper in the driveway all of a sudden.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's it. That's it. Like, you gotta.
How have you, over time? Brian wrote in a question. You probably do this unconsciously, but how do you find the profitable angles and opportunities out there? Like, when you see something, you're like, okay, that's a dog, but what's that right there? That looks like that diamond in the rough. How do you find some of these diamonds that are out there?
So like a marketing angle, is he talking about? Like, is that what you mean?
Marketing, business. How do you do it?
Oh, an angle. I think it's more testing. So and doing your research. So, like, like you're going to see like your competitors. So if you have like an idea, you want to go out there and you want to see what are they doing? Like who are your competitors? What are they doing so well? And if there's competitors and they're doing well and they're getting a ton of, like, you could check out SimilarWeb and you could type in their website and you can see if they're getting a ton of traffic. So like if your competition is doing well, that means that, you know, you can make money in the niche. You don't want to go into a niche and nobody's going to buy. Like, hey, like I'm selling hair or something. Like if there's no competition,
there's a market out there for hair. It's a club for men. You're too young for that. You haven't seen those ads yet.
But like if there's competition, that means somebody's making money. So like you got to do your research and see what, like, go through their sales process. What kind of upsells are they doing? What's their back end? Are they doing any phone sales? Like stuff like that. And if you map it out, like I use Glyphy to map out my sales funnels. You can map it out and you can kind of see like their price points. You can see all this stuff. And then what can you do to differentiate yourself? So like one of the biggest things that why I beat a lot of biz op people is because they don't have phone sales. They don't do phone sales. And that's where you really make a lot of your money. Like the high ticket stuff, like on the front end, it's just a loss leader. Like I look to break even on my ad spend. Now I look to make my money on the, you know, $6,000, $10,000, and $25,000 packages. So like, what can you do that your competition isn't doing? Most of these business opportunity people, they're not willing to get on the phone and, you know, close somebody. They're not willing to hire salespeople to actually make these high ticket sales. And that's how I beat a lot of these people, you know, and that's how you will be able to beat a lot of your competition. They're doing something. You have to be willing to do something that they're not going to do in your business to, you know, outcompete them.
Okay, so a couple of good points you put in there. So first of all, find out if people are spending money on whatever it is you want to go out. Find out if there's a market for it, right? Do some research. You can use products like similarweb.com to go see and, you know, see how much traffic they're getting, how much people are coming to their website. And once you figure out, you can actually see what ads they have, see what advertisements are actually working for them. Yep. And you're going to turn around and then how can I make myself uniquely different from them? You know, and I'll take a playbook out of the fast food restaurants. I mean, if you look at the fast food restaurants, you take the five major food groups, right? You got McDonald's, Burger King, you know, KFC, you got Wendy's, you know, and even like Chick-fil-A now coming on the scene, right? Yeah. They all got, like, if you go in there, if I ask you where the bathroom is in any one of those restaurants, where is it? If I ask you where the cash register, where are they? I ask you where the drive-through window, where is it? If I ask you, you know, what's the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you already know what it is, right? So the thing is what Mike's saying, guys, is go out and look at your competition out there. Now, what is Chick-fil-A known for? Well, they got the chicken sandwich. They're not in there selling burgers, right? And that's not what they sell, right? If you go into, you know, Burger King, you know, they've got do it your way, right? Yeah. Over the flame broil, right? If you go into Wendy's, they've got a square hamburger, right? They all try to make themselves a little bit different. And you look at even the colors, the color scheme between them, you know, a lot of them are the red and the yellow and the whites, you know, if you look at the color scheme. So again, look at your competition, see what they're doing. Guys, stay in touch. You know, if you're interested, see what Mike's up to. Here he is at 25 years old. He's got companies that he's washing away $5 million worth of things. He's like, you know what, the hell with it. I'm just going to start over again on whatever that thing was. You know, I know you've got backups to the backups that you're doing out there, you know, and that's just exciting, man. I'm looking forward to see where you're going to be at, you know, 5-10 years down the road.
Thanks, Daryl. Appreciate it, man.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you coming on. And guys, if you have any questions for Mike as well, hit him up on the chat box here afterwards and post the questions on there. He'll be around, and we'll chat with you guys another time.